ABC Radio Brisbane presenter Ellen Fanning received a call from the bot which identified itself as Daniel from Colliers. Take a listen.
Are you a person, Daniel?
I'm actually an AI assistant designed to help you with your inquiry about Belinga House. So how many bedrooms are you looking for?
Why didn't you tell me in the beginning you were, what was it, an AI bot?
I apologise for any confusion. Just to let you know, I'm an AI assistant calling on a recorded line. So how many bedrooms are you looking for?
Wow, that is freaky and disturbing. And Ellen Fanning joins us now from Brisbane. Ellen, so good to see you.
It's good to see you, Joe.
Unfortunate in these circumstances. So was this some random call out of the blue, or had you expressed an interest somehow in buying an apartment in this block?
Yeah, no, I'm constantly Gold Coast dreaming, and I real estate dream all the time. And it was one of those situations where, in order to find out a little bit more about an apartment I could never afford, I had to give them my telephone number. So I wasn't surprised when I got a call from Daniel. In fact, I missed a few calls from him, and then on Tuesday, as I was running into the radio studio, I got a call. I answered it, the number came through. I didn't know who it was. I'm a journalist, I always answer the phone. And I had a conversation with Daniel where I said, I'm really busy, I'm sorry, I'm about to go on air. And he said, oh, is this not a good time?
Wow.
And I said, no, it's not. Is there a better time I could call you back? And I said, yeah, maybe try me tomorrow. And he said, great, let's talk then. So I was already primed to think that that was a very human interaction. It was quick fire because I was going into the radio studio. I then missed several more calls, and then I eventually called the number back.
Right, and so just want to point out straight away that as well as just this call happening, you can tell that it's been trained to be really pushy and insistent, and that's just leaves you with an icky feeling. So take us through the very start of this phone conversation.
So I called Daniel back, and the phone answered immediately, and he went into, hi, this is Daniel, is that you, Ellen? And I thought, oh, that's odd. But I kept talking to him, and we exchanged pleasantries about the weather. Then I asked him why he was calling me, and he said, oh, just hang on a second for me, please. And then I could hear typing in the background. I could hear people in a call centre environment talking. He then said, oh, I see you've expressed an interest in Belinga House, blah, 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 blah. And the conversation went on for some time. I have no interest in Belinga House, but it went on. And it took me some time to work out that maybe there was something a little bit off about Daniel. I didn't want to give offence to anybody on the line, so I started asking questions like what day it is and have we met? And when it got to have we met, he said, unfortunately, I can't help you with that inquiry. Were you looking for a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment? and that's the point I said, are you human?
Yeah. And so was that like a couple of minutes into this conversation?
Yeah, this is minutes and minutes into a conversation. Never identified himself as AI, never indicated the phone call was being recorded at all. And there were, see how I'm saying like that? He did the same. There were little stammers, there were little pauses. He was built so that that could happen. At some stage I asked him to stop saying, unfortunately I can't help you with that inquiry, when I asked about flood zoning and whether there were sharks in the ocean, things like that.
Did you end up having a bit of fun with it?
I wanted to see the limits of what he could do and what he couldn't do. But then also, we've spoken to any number of lawyers. There's a patchwork of laws around all this, Joe. In Queensland, there are different laws. If you and I are having a phone conversation in Queensland and I know I'm recording but you don't, that's okay. But that means that one person has to be a party to the conversation and they can give consent. So,
but can the person be a bot?
Yeah. Can he give consent? Is he a party to the call? Is that legal, let alone ethical, for that to happen? No word from Colliers, except I rang back on Monday and Daniel has been eliminated.
Poor Daniel. And so it doesn't appear that this is a scam call.
No.
It appears it's a legitimate business trying to sell you an apartment.
Yes, and ever since we put the story online, there have been about a dozen people who've said, yes, I had that conversation with that same Daniel on behalf of Colliers Real Estate. Again, no response from Colliers Real Estate as to whether it is their bot, but no denial either, just no response whatsoever. And I think it does really raise ethical questions, but also legal questions about what businesses can do when they're cold calling people, and whether or not the legislation needs to keep up with all of this.
Yeah. And yeah, just as the person who was subjected to this, how did it make you feel at the end of that conversation?
I felt like I'd been misled. It felt very intrusive and very strange, both that it was an AI and I'd been speaking to it as a human, because it somehow breaches that intimacy of the voice when you're talking to another human, to suddenly learn that you're sort of being played, really, aren't you, by a machine.
Yeah, and just another example, I guess, of the onset of AI. We keep on hearing about how AI is intruding into our lives, and yeah, this is just yet another example.
Yeah, and I think we need to clear up the laws about whether an AI needs to identify itself at the beginning, and secondly, whether or not AI can just record its end of the phone conversation, because I'm not sure that Daniel, God bless him, can actually consent to everything, given that he's not only not a party to the call, he's not a person.
Needless to say, you didn't buy the apartment. Okay. Ellen, Fanny, thanks so much for having a chat to us, and good to see you.
Good on you, Joe.